Life before A Better Way was chaotic. We moved around a lot. It didn't have any structure in our lives, so I ended up incarcerated a lot. And that put me into being, somebody that I didn't want to be. But I didn't know how to change it. Most people start out on weed or alcohol. My first drug was cocaine, and it was definitely a ride. It put me in a better mindset for myself. And I didn't know anything. I didn't know how to change it. And that led me into doing other things. Experimenting, and I found opiates and I fell in love. I never wanted anything else. That was definitely something that I didn't know how to change, but I knew I needed help with it. I realized I needed help when I woke up in a jail cell after ODing. I heard that they revived me, and I woke up and I didn't realize where I was at. And yeah, you don't realize what you got until it's gone, Yeah, I heard about A Better Way when I was locked up, and my attorney was pressuring me to have something voluntarily on my record that says I'm attempting to change. I'd come out of incarceration. It wasn't looking good. My charges weren't looking good. So I run across the book, and I run across people that were incarcerated that had been to A Better Way and were trying to come back. And so I talked to my sister, and my sister did the research on it. And so I didn't have a bond. I couldn't just leave and go or come here. So we worked on it about 3 months. They finally gave me a bond, and 2 days later I was pulling up at property. When I pulled up on property, I was chain smoking cigarettes. Because they told me I couldn't have them for the next 18 months, and then I was like, 18 months. Whew. But it hasn't been that bad, I mean, you look at the houses and you look at the campus, you're like, this place is built to change my life. And that's what I planned on doing, was changing my life. The structure at A Better Way was different, to say the least. I spent a lot of time in the discipline room because I'm hard-headed. Waking up at 4:45 and not being able to speak until 8, it wasn't really I didn't really have a problem with it because I really don't talk to very many people anyway. So, the funny thing is, I had a hoodie I brought with me, and it had zippers in the pockets, and so they didn't catch them. They're like, button your buttons and zip up your zippers, right? So I got disciplined for something else, and I'm like, you didn't even get me for my hoodie. It's got 2 zippers in it. The brotherhood at A Better Way is something that I could have never imagined. To have somebody truly care for you that has no idea who you are. It was something that I had to grow into. I'd never had that experience before. I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful to have brothers that I can call on when I need something, when I need somebody just to talk to. The Florida trip was the apex of the journey here. It kind of sets the tone for the rest of the time that you spend. You look forward to going, and it's right in the middle of the 18 months. It puts things in perspective. There's guys that don't make it, and the ones that are beside you when you make it to the Florida trip are the ones that are probably going to stay with you. it was a blessing. To not have to wake up at 4:45, you know, for a couple of days, and to be able to just relax and worship, you know, with brothers. Get to know each other a little bit better. Having Brother John, you know, welcome you into his home with open arms. Just a feeling of gratitude. I can't express it, you know. I can't express how happy I was to be at the middle of the journey, you know, and set the tone for the rest of it, you know, pushing forward and pushing the positivity forward. And watching the brothers get baptized, that was a real treat. A Better Way has changed my life, you know. It's changed my life. I could have never imagined where I am today if it hadn't been for A Better Way. You know, I got my family back.